As amazing as Super Mario Wonder is, I am still someone who prefers Super Mario in 3D, and this got me thinking about all of the talk of the upcoming new Nintendo console or the Switch 2. With all the speculation, it sounds like the successor to the Switch will be launching in 2025, almost exactly 8 years after the Switch launched in 2017. But the big question is, will there be a new 3D Super Mario game at launch, with Super Mario Wonder just having released, and what will the launch lineup look like for the Switch 2? Super Mario Odyssey 2 might not be coming out in 2024, but we still have big hopes and goals for our channel in 2024, including getting to 15,000 subs. We are trying to cultivate a positive environment without toxicity, so if that sounds good, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment, because that is going to help the algorithm put us in front of more people. So as always, remember to be nice to your fellow gamer, but more importantly, be nice to your fellow human. Outside of the rumors and speculation, the first thing to do is look at the history of new Nintendo consoles and how many of them launched with a new Mario title. Looking at the data, which includes almost all mainline home consoles and most handhelds except for the ones that were iterations, 7 out of 11 times, or 64%, that Nintendo launched a console, there was a new Mario game to go with it. One thing to note is that success of that system isn't tied to having a Super Mario title at launch. The Nintendo 64 launched with one of the most revolutionary titles in gaming history with Super Mario 64, but that system only managed to sell 32 million units. And the Wii U also launched with New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, but only ended up selling 13 million units, which was by far the company's worst selling console. On the other hand, Nintendo Switch didn't launch with a new Super Mario title, but is currently the second best-selling Nintendo console of all time, with currently over 132 million units. The 3DS also didn't launch with a Super Mario title and ended up selling almost 76 million units, although Super Mario 3D Land and Mario Kart 7 launched within the first year. As mentioned, 7 out of the 11 consoles have launched with a new Mario game, but if you include marquee characters, then you get 10 out of 11, or 91%, with the inclusion of Luigi's Mansion for GameCube, Twilight Princess on the Wii, and Breath of the Wild on the Switch. And this means that there is a very high percentage that Nintendo Switch 2 will launch with a very high profile game, and since we just got Tears of the Kingdom, it likely won't be Zelda, which leaves us to figure out the possible candidates, which are Luigi's Mansion 4, Super Mario Odyssey 2, and Mario Kart 9. There is also the long gestating Metroid Prime 4, but Metroid, as a series, just isn't a system seller. The best-selling entry in the series is Metroid Dread, which was the most recent release in the series, and it has only sold slightly over 3 million copies. As much as I love the series, it might be a little too risky for Nintendo to bet the success of a console generation on Samus. We have discussed before how the development of Luigi's Mansion is done by Next Level Games, and they are very consistent, releasing a game every 3 years at the most. Their two most recent games, including Luigi's Mansion 3 in 2019 and Mario Strikers Battle League in 2022. Now, after being acquired by Nintendo, it doesn't seem unfathomable to think that Nintendo could lend a hand in development to expedite Luigi's Mansion 4 to be ready for the launch of the Switch 2. The only reason that Nintendo might not feel confident about launching the Switch 2 with Luigi's Mansion 4 is because the GameCube launched with the original Luigi's Mansion, and that ended up being the second worst selling console of all time, only second to the Wii U. Mario Kart 9 is the second candidate, and this seems like a perfectly plausible release, as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe released in 2017 and was a deluxe version of a game that released on the Wii U back in 2014. Now, there was a booster course pack that was great value, added some life to that series with new courses and characters, but that has now run its course. The final candidate is Super Mario Odyssey 2. The big counterpoint is that Nintendo just released Super Mario Wonder, but according to Andy Robinson of VGC, he has been led to believe from his sources that Wonder was developed by a younger team when speaking on the August 1st edition of the VGC podcast, with the most recent speculation being that March 2025 will be the likely launch timing of the Switch 2. It will have been almost 8 years since Nintendo released a new 3D Super Mario game, which makes Super Mario Odyssey 2 the most likely possibility. Our personal hope is that it will be Super Mario Odyssey 2, as that is our choice for the best Mario game of all time. And despite this, we still thought of 6 ways that Nintendo could improve upon the sequel with Super Mario Odyssey 2. There is also the chance that Nintendo wants to guarantee success and launch the Switch 2 with all three of these titles. Let me know in the comments what Switch 2 launch titles you want to see.